Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Milo's new adventure. I wanted to let everybody know what had happened to me yesterday. It's been quite a week. Today is Wednesday, Wednesday, January the 12th. It was been quite a week, let's put it that way, quite a week. But I had dropped my computer off at the Best Buy, and so I had to go back over and get it. Well, I went back over and got it, and on the way home, well, I was stopped at a red light, and all of a sudden I heard these tires, someone sliding going down the road, and I heard these tires and stuff. It's a little cool out here this morning, but anyway, I heard tires squealing back there like someone sliding, and all of a sudden it was within seconds before I could look up and look in the mirror to see where it was coming from. A guy hit me from behind. Now I'm pretty surprised that the amount of damage it did to his car, it totaled his car. And I'm kind of surprised how all the damage occurred like that. It totaled his car. And he had a Chrysler minivan. It pushed the front of the car all the way back up to his windshield, broke his windshield, and he couldn't drive his car. It just totally ruined it, messed it up. But but with the car, the little car that I drive is a let's see, Buick Encore. It's almost like a brand new car, guys. I never had a new car like that before. It's got less than 40,000 miles on. It's not a 2022 car. It's an older car, like I think it's 2014, but it doesn't get drove hardly any, and it doesn't have, I think it's just a little bit over 40,000. I don't think there's even 41,000 on it. But anyway, that was quite an experience yesterday. I've never been in a wreck before, so I don't really know how it all works. We'll find out. He has Geico. They called me last night. It was almost 7:30 at night, and they called me. And I don't really like to answer the phone unless I know who's calling. We all get all those spam calls and all that stuff. And the phone number come up on there, a 1-800 number, and it was like, well, should I answer this or not? I don't know who this is. But anyway, I went ahead and answered it, and it was the guy's insurance that called me. That was so strange, guys, what happened. I'd never been in a wreck like that before. Within those few seconds, the motor went off, the seatbelt pinned me back against the seat, and the doors, they were already locked, but I couldn't get out the doors. All that within just a few seconds, but it only lasted just maybe a few seconds too, and then all of a sudden my seatbelt come loose by itself, and because I reached down there trying to push the button to get out of the seatbelt, and I couldn't do it. It wouldn't let me unlock the seatbelt. It was just a few seconds. It was wild. It was a wild situation. Oh, and then the cops started yelling at me because I was on the phone. I was trying to get a hold of the insurance guy because I wanted to find out exactly what I needed to get from that guy that hit me. And it took the cops probably a good 10 minutes at least to get there, I would say. I already had all my paperwork together, license, registration, insurance, all that stuff. And I already had all that together. And I called the insurance people trying to get a hold of them. And I did get through to him. I have Progressive, and that guy was so nice. And even on the way back home, he stayed on the phone with me. And I mean, that's what the cop was yelling about. He goes, "You got to get off the phone. Tell him you're in the middle of a, you know, you can imagine. You're in the middle of a accident. You got to get off that phone." Just carrying on, you know. I was talking to the cop. He was asking me questions. I was, you know, it wasn't as if I wasn't doing what I was supposed to with him. He just didn't like that I was on the phone talking with that other guy at the same time. Well, people multitask all the time, you know. And another thing that helped me in that situation is this assurance adjuster heard the guy say it was his fault. So it's like a witness. It was a witness for me, you know. He told the cop, well, when the cop first got there, he came up and he said, "Well, is anybody hurt?" And I said no, that I feel good now. And he asked the other guy, and he said he felt good. Anyway, that's what happened yesterday. Make a long story short. And but the thing I've been thinking about when I woke up this morning is this right here, this dash cam. Now, I don't have a rear dash cam, but I was thinking this should have captured, you know, when he hit me, it pushed the car, it almost pushed the car into the car in front of me. So that's why it's very important to keep that distance if you can. I know it's hard, but like driving truck all those years and stuff, kind of, you know, you learn defensive driving because of all the different crazy situations you get into out there. But anyway, I always try when I stop at a red light to keep at least maybe half a car length in front of me for the guy that's, you know, stopped in front of me. So I always try to keep a distance anyway between me and the guy in front of me. But when he hit me so hard that it pushed the car. It was pushing me into the guy in front of me. And it's like, you know, the only thing I could think of was shove the brake pedal down just as hard as I could. Shove it to the floor just as hard. I don't know if it makes any difference. You know, I don't know if it makes any difference at all. But I did that, shoved it down to the floor as hard as I could, and you know, I don't know how close I came. This will tell me. Hopefully everything is on here. It should be. This picks up the volume and, you know, the video out the front of the car. You've probably seen it in some of the videos, but this should tell me, it should be on here, what it looks like. I'm waiting for today. I'm waiting for the insurance adjuster to call me. I guess I've never been in this before, but I guess he's going to call me and tell me the next steps. I think the next steps would be, I don't think he'll come out. I think he'll probably send me somewhere to have the car checked out. And it sounds like that other guy's got pretty good insurance too, Geico. You know, that's Government Employee Insurance Company is what Geico stands for. The one with the little green lizard. It's a government insurance. I just want to do a short video this morning to let you know what in the heck is going on with me again. A little Milo and me. I almost took him with me yesterday. He wanted to go so bad over there, and all I was going to do is pick up the computer and come home. But now, after what had happened right then, right at, you know, at that situation, I would have never been able to, you know, I'm kind of glad he wasn't there, because I wouldn't have been able to handle it very good. He told me what happened. He told me he was looking down at something in the car. He looked up, and it was too late. He said it was too late, and he hit me. I hate to see bad things happen to people, you know. I really do. And I guess I was involved in that this time. It happened to him and me. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go and show you the car here in a minute and check out this dash cam, see what happens, and we'll find out how these insurance companies handle the situation. So far it's going pretty good, you know, so far it's going pretty good. So we'll see. The Progressive is supposed to call me today, and his insurance, Geico, called me last night, and that was good news when she said that, about how they're going to take full responsibility. And you know, just wanted to know some questions about what had happened. There's my wood I got saved there for, you know, when we have a fire here. I have a fire pit out back, but anyway, that's what it looks like, guys. That's why I wanted to show you what it looks like. I hope that it didn't do anything to hurt it where I'm not going to be able to drive it, you know. Where they're not going to be able to fix it. I think they'll be able to fix it and everything. But that cop that stopped me, he said that wheel looks like it was bent. The hub, the axle, I guess what he called it, looked like it was bent. But it really didn't hurt anything much. I pulled this stuff back out so I could drive it, and I would climb up under it and all over the place. And it's a front wheel drive, so all the major stuff is up there in the front. So, you know, anyway, I just thought I'd show you what was happening with the car now. Seems to be always something going on, but anyway, guys, what can you do? You know, what can you do? What can you do? Life's life, and what can you do about it, I guess, you know? So anyway, we'll wait for the insurance adjuster to call me, and then we'll go from there, see what happens. Good morning, everybody out there. It's been a little while since I got to talk to you about the car situation. It's been about 5 weeks since it all started. If you remember back when I talked to you last time, we were talking about how I was waiting for the insurance guys to call me. Well, Progressive called me. I was on the phone pretty much all day, talking to Progressive, talking to Geico, talking to the car rental place. I had to get all those things worked out. But when I talked to Progressive, these are things to think about when you get insurance that I never thought about. And everybody's policy is a little different, I'm sure, but well, with Progressive, they don't provide a car rental, and with Geico they do. So when I go to drop the car off to get it inspected to see how it all turned out, you know, see what they come up with, if they're going to be able to fix it or not, I need some way to get back home. And I never thought about that part of it, you know. I never really thought about that part. But when I talked to Progressive guy, he said, well, he advised me to go with Geico because my policy that I have for Progressive did not include the rental car, which is a little problem because it's like, how are you going to get back home from where you dropped the car off? You know, if they take 2 or 3 days to check the car out, how about that? How are you going to get around? So these are things that you need to really think about if you end up in a situation like I did, but hopefully you don't. But anyway, we took the car down there, got it checked out. They came back and said that well, before I showed the inside of the car to the guy, the airbags and stuff, I let him look at the outside of the car, the bumper, the side of the car, things like that, because, you know, just to see what he would say. But he said, well, that didn't look too bad, that should be able to get that fixed without any problem. Well, that all sounded good. Then I went, I had to leave the car there. That all sounded good. Then I had to leave the car there, which I did. It took them about 2 days maybe. The rest of that day that they had, and then the following day, I called them by the end of the following day, which would have been, I think it was Thursday. But anyway, called them by the following day. No, that would have been Wednesday, because I went and did the Peace Cave Thursday, and then I had to go clean the car out Friday and things like that. But anyway, when I talked to the guy, they said that they weren't able to fix the car, and they weren't able to fix the car because of the airbags. He said the car had 9 airbags on it, 9 airbags, and out of the 9 airbags, 7 airbags went off. He said the frame wasn't bent. It didn't look like it'd be much trouble to fix the bumper, things like that. He said they solely based it on replacing the airbags. The airbags cost, let's see, what did he say? Oh, $900 each. The airbags cost $900 each. Can you believe that? $900 for an airbag, and 7 of them went off. And when those went off, it blew the front seats at the same time. I wish I had got a picture of that for you. But on the side of the seats, the airbags blew out, somehow out the side of the seat too. He said that they would have to replace the seats, the headliner, all the airbags, and all those things come to more than what Geico was willing to get the car fixed. They totaled the car because of the headliner, the airbags, which is kind of hard to believe in a way, you know, because I always figured that they based it on if the motor was totaled or the frame was bent or something like that, you know. But he said that they basically based it on the airbags, because when I showed him the outside of the car, he was making comments like, oh, that shouldn't be too hard to fix, you know, things like that. Well, then I went inside, I opened the back door, showed him the back door inside, and I could tell right off it was a problem. He goes, oh, it blew the airbags too? And anyway, it was all based on the airbags. So they ended up totaling the car because of that. That was on Wednesday, I got that notice. Thursday I went and did the Peace Cave, because I just had to get away from everything, you know. Friday I went back to Apopka to get my stuff out of the car. Okay, so I got the things out of the car. I had the rental car that I was driving around in. It really didn't take long for me to find another car. You know, I got basically the same thing, just a little bit newer, you know. I just hope the car will be good, you know. I like the car. There's some things on it that the other car didn't have, and there's some things on the other car that this car doesn't have. So you know, I don't know. I guess it was just the way it was meant to be, you know. There's not really much I could do about it, you know. So anyway, I ended up getting another car. I got it over at I was going to show you this. The guy over where I got it was pretty good. He's a pretty good guy. I got it at Advantage Dodge dealer in Mount Dora. If you're around Mount Dora area, go to Advantage and go in there and see Ben. I don't usually give shout outs too much, But Ben helped me out of a situation, and he's a pretty good salesperson, and he kept trying to get him to lower the price down. I think the price of the car was okay, I guess. I think it could have been a little lower, because I did a Kelly Blue Book on it, and I knew about what it was, what it was worth, things like that. But you know how it is when you go to car dealers. Everybody knows that it's had to deal with them, what they're like. But anyway, Ben is a good guy. He's a nice guy. He comes from out where I wanted to go. Can you believe that too? He comes from the West Coast, out in Olympic National Park, Mount Rainier, Glacier National Park, all those places I want to go to out west. He just moved from out there to here. So that's kind of different, isn't it? And anyway, there was a lot of strange things that happened. This car that I got, the last car that we had, I got it at the exact same car dealer that I got this car, setting in almost the exact same spot that this car was setting in, which is kind of strange. But that's I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's the car dealer place. I don't know if you can make it out. Advantage Dodge. They sell a lot of different types of cars there, because this isn't a Dodge. This is a Buick Encore. That's basically what happened with the car. Ben was a pretty good guy over there. He helped me out. This is something to think about, and this is my opinion only. My circumstances and my opinions only, because it depends upon the policy you have, and I would really check into that. If it covers car rental, what does it cover? Because not only that, I found out a few days after all this was just about done, I got a thing in the mail from Progressive saying that they're going to increase my insurance payments now by $15 more a month. I've had Progressive for probably 4 years, 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years. I like Progressive, but I have had problems with them. But everybody's policy is a little different. But Progressive, well, this is just my circumstance. Progressive didn't have car rental that I needed. Geico did. Progressive suggested that I go with Geico, let them handle it because of the car rental. And then after everything was said and done, Progressive increased my rates by $15 more a month. But when I got back home that day, I called my agent, Progressive, and I called them to let them know what was going on, and to see if, just to see his suggestions or something. I'd never been in that situation. His secretary answered, said that he was talking to somebody and that he would get back with me just as soon as he had the chance. Well, it was probably, the accident happened about 1:20, something like that. I think I got back home like around 3, somewhere around there. But anyway, after I called him like that, they never did bother to call me back again. I did get a letter in the mail maybe a week after that saying they're going to increase my insurance rate by $15 more a month. I have no idea, reason why. I have no idea why, you know. But anyway, but most all of them, Progressive and things like that, Geico, even Geico, they put secondhand. That was it, secondhand. Refurbished, secondhand, and new. That's it. They could either put new parts back on, second-hand parts back on, or refurbished parts back on. Second-hand would be like used parts. And I heard somebody say, well, the used parts to begin with, why would they put new parts back on? Makes sense. But still, you know, when you have a car that has never been in an accident, you know, that's, you know, that runs good, perfect, when something like that happens, you're not wanting to put old junk parts back on, refurbished parts. Well, guys, I've been working on my sleeping bag, trying to figure out what it would be like. I got the pad down here in the sleeping bag, so I'm kind of trying to figure that part out. I'm still going forward, trying to figure out everything to go on a trip and stuff. See, it's basically about the same thing. There's some things on it that that the other car doesn't have on, and some things the other car has on that this one doesn't. But now I like the rims on this car, but the other car had those mag wheels on it. See, it doesn't look too bad. Try to stay out of the shadow if I can. It doesn't look too bad. I just hope and pray that this car will be good to go out west, you know. That's what it looks like inside. You can see how I've been trying to come up with different ideas in the window. That's Velcro up there. I've been trying to come up with different ideas of how to hook up curtains. See, now here I got the Velcro on the outside, you know. I think that worked better than on the glass, because this I can put it in there and close it in the door frame itself. This is the curtains thing. This is an old piece of one, but I was working on that yesterday. But I took the seats out so I have more room here, you know. I'm just trying to get it all set up. See, now that headrest works all right. It's staying in there like it should. But I still don't know if I'll leave it on there or not for sure, because it's might not be necessary. But right back through there is probably where I'll sleep, and I'll set my refrigerators and stuff up in here. But we'll have to see how everything goes the next few months. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to bring the closure to the accident that that we had.